We are coming to you from Comerica Park in Detroit. Well, this afternoon, Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Todd Frazier, Jose Abreu, Melky Cabrera in our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Miguel Cabrera, Ian Kinsler, and the red-hot Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrell. Since we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set, as you know, we've lost the first two. We lost the opener 11-5. Then last night, we wasted a complete game, Jim, by Chris Sale. We lost that ball game 2-1.
Well, hopefully today we can get some runs for Jose Quintana, because that's something that's been hard to come by. Quintana's been awfully good. His last 5 starts, he's given up a total of 7 runs, but he doesn't have a lot to show for it. However, in the month of July, 3-0 with an ERA of 1.95. He could be so much better than he's been, and he's got just over a 4-point ERA lifetime against the Tigers. Jordan Zimmermann comes back off the disabled list, and he had 2 minor league starts. He's had a bad neck. We'll see how he fares today. 2-0 against our ball club. His ERA very good. This is a good pitcher. This is a guy they gave a lot of money to as a free agent, and coming back after a month layoff, you never really know what he's going to come back with.
Well, in this 8-game winning streak by Detroit, they have really been crushing in baseball.
That's really been the story. It's been offense, offense, and offense, and they get a banger back, and that's J.D. Martinez, and we saw what he could do yesterday. Second career pinch hit homer, and it was a bomb. So Martinez has 6 weeks off. He had a broken bone in his elbow. They didn't know that he would come back quite this soon. It's still giving him some problems, but last night, no problems whatsoever. An absolute bomb, and that turned out to be the game winner. So with Martinez back, that's one of the things that's really going to help this team. They're 2 games back of the Cleveland Indians for the division. They're right in the middle of the wild card, and they're psyched up, and we have to be behind Q today.
Well, we've got to try to salvage the last and final game of this series and this road trip to avoid a Motor City sweep here in Detroit. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi. Truth in engineering. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Welcome back to Comerica Park. It's another beautiful day in Detroit. It's pretty hot, it's pretty humid, which means the ball is going to be very lively as we show you the ballpark and the Tigers take the field. So the season series, and you can see why it is 8-4 in favor of the Tigers. The batting average substantially better, the runs per game 6.2 as opposed to 4.4. The home runs, they've hit a few more, extra base hits quite a few more, and ERA 4.10 as opposed to 6.06. Adam Eaton hitting in the 3 spot today. Ram Natur said that Adam has always fancied himself as a 3 hitter, so today he's giving him an opportunity to be in a run-producing spot. And the way he's hit the baseball lately, that's probably not a bad idea. Plus, shaking things up is always a good idea, and we'll see if it works today. Let's take a look at how Robin is going to line him up this afternoon. Tim Anderson in the leadoff role. Then it's Melky Cabrera, who's been the most consistent hitter. He's hitting 2. Adam Eaton, the first time he's ever hit 3rd in the major leagues. And Jose Abreu. Justin Morneau has hit a couple of home runs against these Tigers, both home and away. Todd Frazier, Avisail Garcia, Omar Narvaez, and Tyler Saladino rounds it out. So that is our Kia starting lineup. Now let's take a look at our Honda City defensive setup. And the Tigers will do it this way. Justin Upton, Tyler Collins in center field today. J.D. Martinez is in right. Then it's Castellanos, Iglesias, who's had a magnificent defensive shortstop. Ian Kinsler, Andrew Romine at first base, and he's been all over. Saltalamacchia behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher. Jordan Zimmerman. He's 9-4 this year. His ERA higher than he would like at 3.95. You look at the rest of the numbers, not striking out a whole lot of people, and he's had a neck problem, and it really bothers him when he uses his takeaway as far as taking the ball away from his body and trying to get extension. So we'll see if it's bothering him this afternoon. The umpires for the game this afternoon: Brian O'Nora behind the plate, Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, is at first, John Tumpane is at second, and Alan Porter's at third. The umpires have done a very good job in this series. Players not complaining much at all. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. The wind is blowing toward the left field corner, which is going to aid the right-hand hitters, and that means we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson, who's a touch under the weather today.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Tim Anderson takes first pitch, strike. Timmy comes in hitting it 269. He's 0 for 9 in this series. Zimmerman, 30-year-old right-hander, 6'2", 225, out of Auburndale, Wisconsin.
He's got a good slider. His fastball tops out probably 93, maybe right around 94 occasionally. But he was a very good pitcher with the Washington Nationals, then elected free agency and comes over here to Detroit. There you look at the numbers lifetime. He's been very good.
That got him. Tim shaking it out, trying to shake it out.
With the same situation happened in the ball game yesterday. The difference was this one doesn't look like it hit the handle of the bat entirely. Robin's gone out there. He wants a word with Brian O'Nora as Hermie comes out. Hopefully everything is okay with the run of injuries we've had to our young players. You'd like to see Anderson complete the last 2 months of this season, so we'll slow it down for you. That one absolutely hit the hand and wrist.
Yeah.
That was completely unlike the one last night. And I think the umpires want to take a look at it. Robin is insisting they do. I think when they take a look at it, he will wind up at first base, but we'll have to see what they say in New York. One of the things, you know, when you're going real well, and the Tigers are going real well, they've won 8 games in a row, you seem to get a whole lot of luck. One of the pieces of luck that they're going to get, with the Mets coming to town, they're going to play over the weekend here in Detroit. They just put their most effective offensive player. You want Cespedes on the disabled list. So the Mets without Cespedes is a good time to play them. The Tigers are doing it. On the review of the play, Tim Anderson winds up at first base, so a good way to start this one, assuming he is 100%.
Well, it's that old saying, it's not who you play, but when you play them.
It's a good time to play the Mets because what Cespedes means to that team is probably even more on a team that doesn't have a lot of thunder than Miguel Cabrera means to the Tigers.
So here's Melky. Melky at 307, 9 homers, 49 driven in. Well, we saw Zimmerman. We saw Zimmerman a couple of years ago in that Washington uniform. He was very, very aggressive.
Yeah, he's a good one. Now the question is, if that arm is bothering him on the takeaway, will he have the same control?
That strike is called. And here at Comerica Park, 345 down the left field line, 330 down the right field line, 365 in right center, 370 in left center, and 420 dead away center. High pop up. Iglesias.
Zimmerman had some remarkable years when he was a member of the Nationals. He was 19-9 in 2013, 14-5 in 2014. Last year, he had a good year, not quite as good as the previous two. He was 13-10, and that's when he chose free agency, and the Tigers chose to sign him.
So here's Eaton, 272. Sox come in hitting at 249 as a team with a 4.05 team ERA. Wind has subsided now. Larry just waving a little bit as that pitch is fouled out of play. And fans, now you can vote for your pick to click. Before each game, visit whitesox.com/pick to click and decide who you think will be the next White Sox position player of the game. There you see Jose Abreu was the fans' choice today. Crew over Tyler Saladino. Steve's going with Adam Eaton and Sheena Quinn, Joe Rody, Julian Bartos, Megan Golden, Ron Vesley, Seth Bernstein, Hannah Sunwall, and Kevin Butcher and I. We're going to go with Omar Narvaez.
And congratulations to Megan Golden. She has accepted a position at Notre Dame. One of the better recruits.
A terrific young lady.
Yes, she is, and she'll do very well there. She'll have a great time. She's been a big fan all of these years, and we wish her only the best.
Yep, she is a very, just a fun person. Great personality and smart. That pitch misses. 2-1 the count.
It's a pretty good pitch if Anderson decides to run. Saltalamacchia has not been the best at getting the ball to second base. He does, however, call a very good game, which is one of the reasons why he's played as much as he has. Zimmerman has a good move to first.
Pretty good lead by Timmy, and there's a little flare into right field for the base hit. So Tim will pull up at second. 2 on, 1 out.
Hitting in the 3 spot apparently is not intimidating at all for Adam Eaton. He takes a slider that didn't do a whole lot. It'll be real interesting with only 2 rehab starts for Zimmerman. They toyed with the idea of having him a third because he'd been out so long, and then after a side session, Rich Doobie said, no, it appears to be ready to go, and here he is.
Here's Abreu. Well, I can't remember another pitcher that I've ever heard of where his arm gave him trouble taking the ball away.
Well, it's the neck muscle. That's what it was. And
I thought you said his arm.
No, well, the arm, the takeaway is affecting his neck, and that's what gave him the problems.
Well, I've heard of neck, I've heard of neck problems. I've never heard of an arm problem taking the ball away.
No, if you have that, then get another job.
That's right.
Sell something. Go out and sell something.
2 on, 1 out. 1-1 to count.
It's Tiger's lifetime. Jose has been very good. 318. He particularly has loved to hit in this ballpark. He's taken a couple straight over that center field wall, and it's 420 to straightaway center.
Well, I'm sure they're asking you the same thing they're asking me. What's wrong with Abreu?
Yeah, and
I wish we knew.
if anybody had that answer,
We'd tell them.
especially Todd Steverson, they would be the first to say, here it is. This is what's wrong exactly, and this is exactly how you cure it.
This is the definitive reason. That's one thing about when you see a guy that's had 2 sensational seasons like Abreu with no protection, none, 0. All of a sudden come into his 3rd year now, and he's got plenty of protection, and he's just not getting it done.
Normally when he's swinging it well, that's exactly the pitch that he's going to tattoo, and that is a fastball, 91 miles an hour. It had plenty of the plate. It was on the outer 3rd, but no contact.
It looks to me like he has been, just an observation, looks to me like he has been looking in more this year than he has his first 2 years. And if you're looking in, you got a problem.
If you're looking in, you can't cover the outside part of the plate.
You've got a big problem. That plate, instead of 17 inches, goes to about 24, 25 inches.
With nobody paying attention to Anderson at all at second base to this point.
Kinsler sneaky.
If he keeps getting that lead, I mean, he's got to keep his eye on Kinsler, but if he keeps getting that lead, he can go.
Yeah, what a hitter does, that's the worst feeling that a hitter can have. Go to the plate and look in here, look inside. The best feeling he can have, conversely, is to go to the plate, not worry about inside, and look for the ball out over the plate. That's when you can really do some hitting. That's what he's done his first 2 years. Last year, he was the best bad ball hitter in Major League Baseball because he had to be.
So when you say don't look inside, does that necessitate moving off the plate or actually moving on the plate and disregarding the inside pitch?
You've got to move off the plate. So if anything is inside,
Then
is
you
a ball.
Then you take it.
Yeah. Anything that's inside, you see, I mean, you got to move off the plate. That's the great Ted Williams always said. When you're having trouble, you got to move off the plate. 2 reasons. First of all, it's so you can see it longer, and you don't have to worry about the inside strike.
But right now, even on pitches that are on the inner 3rd, you mentioned it a couple of games ago that Jose had an at-bat where he jammed himself. On pitches that are on the inner 3rd of the plate, it looks to me like he's getting jammed, and there doesn't appear to be a reason to do it on that particular pitch. I can see inside a couple of inches you can get jammed.
Yeah. Well, when he's looking inside and he's swinging at the inside pitch, he's extending, and you can't do that. The longer that left arm goes forward, the bigger the swing, the slower the swing, and that's what he's doing right now. He's got that big left arm of his going forward, and it slows up the bat. That elbow and that forearm have got to fold right at the elbow to get the head of the bat out. And there's ball 4. So that's a good at bat for him right there. To load him up.
10 pitch at bat. It sets the table for Justin Morneau. So Zimmerman having some problems with command. You figure he would. He hasn't pitched for a while. And we'll see if they were better served with giving him one more extended rehab start or letting him start in the major leagues. So far it's been a shaky first.
Big hack by Justin. Yeah, I was talking with Mully and Henry this morning. If I had to, if Jose said, Hawk, what do you think? I'd say, Jose, you got to back off the plate. And then I want you to take 50 or 100 swings over the next couple of days, because that's out of play. Using short arms. No extension, short arms, keeping the arms in. Keeping the arms in, almost attached to the chest, so the chest rotates. To get the feeling of your hands. Right now, his hands are slow. And the bigger that left arm goes forward, the more it goes forward, the slower the hands are going to be. A lot of guys can't stand on top of the plate. You know that.
No, I know. It takes a lot of quickness and a whole lot of courage.
That's into left field. That's going to get one of them in. Tenney's going to tag. He's going to score. And the hit by pitch comes around. We lead at 1-0.
Justin Morneau was really good and a prolific run producer. That's what he would do. Whatever the situation called for. If he needed a fly ball, look, he realized that entire at bat, he realized he had to hit the ball in the air. He had to keep the ball off the ground and not get into a double play, so he drives in his 8th run of the year. And as he's got a little more comfortable, he's swinging the bat better and better. Took that one seemingly off the ground and hit it in the air, hit it far enough.
Well, what he did is, he's going to get this put together for you so you can see. And watch the difference in his first swing that he's swung at versus when he's got to get the job done.
When he had 2 strikes.
Yeah.
He went high. He went after a high pitch first time, airing it out.
Yeah.
Thinking, well, maybe I'll hit a gap or do whatever. Then much more defensive swing. And he's strong enough where he just got the head of the bat on it, probably hit it off the end of the bat.
When you see a guy take the same swing on 0-2 as he does on 2-0, you know he's got a problem. Here's Todd, 3 for 7 in the series with a home run. He has faced Zimmerman 10 times, has 2 hits.
Buzzed him up and in, and both pitches with 2 strikes have been way up and off the plate. Zimmerman left a very good Washington team, an excellent rotation. Washington still has an excellent team and a good rotation. They're up by 7 games over Miami at 64-44.
Little comebacker, makes a play, but you pick up a run, and after a half inning of play, as our guys won, and the Tigers coming to bat.
And let's see how Brad Ausmus is going to put him out there. Ian Kinsler leading it off. Then it's Jose Iglesias in the 2 spot. Miguel Cabrera, who's been very good against Quintana. Of course, he's good against everybody. Then Castellanos, J.D. Martinez, Upton, Collins, Saltalamacchia, and Romine rounded out. Our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Jose Quintana, on for his 22nd start. He's 8-8. His ERA a splendid 2.89. There you look at the other numbers. They're very, very good. Tim Anderson gets hit by a pitch the first time up. Stays in the game to score the run. But they want to take a look at it, and hopefully he's going to be okay. Carlos Sanchez comes in the game at second base, shifting Tyler Saladino to shortstop. So the day is done for Anderson, and the young players on this team continue to get banged up.
That's a dangerous place to get hit. Really good. So here's Kinsler. First pitch strike. Ian hitting at 289, 20 homers, 59 driven in, 4 for 9 in this series.
Another thing that he's shown us is the ability to get rid of the ball quickly on the turn. He and Iglesias make a great double play combination.
Yeah, they can turn some that other people can't.
Well, 2 things have to happen as a second baseman. 1, you have to have very quick hands to get rid of the ball quickly, or 2, you have to have a very strong arm. Sometimes you get a combination of both, and Kinsler is pretty close to that combination of both.
Yeah, that was one reason Alexei Ramirez and Gordon Beckham could turn some really unusual double plays, because of the arm strength. And this game is tied at 1.
You got one right down the middle. And 21 and 60 on the power numbers. Yet another leadoff home run for one of the game's most powerful, if not the most powerful, leadoff hitter. A Ford home run replay. That's a rolling breaking ball over the middle of the plate. Ian Kinsler doesn't take long to tie it.
Short arms he hit it with. As here is Iglesias.
'37 career leadoff home runs for Ian Kinsler.
That boy. So he gets him.
That's the 5th home run in a leadoff capacity for Kinsler this year.
May have heard in the background 37 leadoff homers tied with Ichiro for 7th in league history.
Fastball just missing off the inside corner. Victor Martinez getting the day off, and that's a good thing because he's had his way with Quintana over the course of his career.
Yeah, he just pushes this one into short right field for a Kansas City special.
Let's give you a look at the Honda City defensive setup. the revamped defensive setup. Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, Abigail Garcia, that stays the same. Todd Frazier, Tyler Saladino at shortstop. Carlos Sanchez at second with Jose Abreu at first. And Omar Narvaez getting a start today behind the plate.
So here's Castellanos. They get 292, 18 homers, 58 driven in. All right, take your time. Back him up. Oh, bad throw. Real bad throw.
Not going to be an error because you can't assume the double play, but we've talked about a team error.
See, that's got to be a team.
The team error many times, and there's a classic illustration of it because any kind of throw at all, and he's got an unobstructed throw as Cabrera just peels off and the throw not there. So the fortunate part is it didn't go into or over the dugout, and Castellanos has to stay at first.
Yeah, that's got to be team error. Meanwhile, there's a double, and they're going to wave him around. They got a shot with a good throw. He got it. Beautiful peg, beautiful relay, and that'll retire the side. But the leadoff homer by Kinsler, we are tied at 1.
In that first inning, but for a couple of very good relays. Melky getting it back in, knowing he's got to hit the cutoff man, and Tyler Saladino throws a strike. Omar Narvaez with the tag at the plate. They gun down Castellanos. He's out rather easily, but it took 2 good throws to get him. Well defended, and a 1-1 ball game heading into the second.
Well, we talk about Tyler being one of the smartest players on the club. Look at the position he gets into as he's waiting on the throw. Perfect.
He knows that there's probably going to be a play.
Yeah.
And there was.
Perfect position. He catches this with his chest facing. Melky is not going to get him. So here's Avi. Garcia, Narvaez, and Saladino.
8-game winning streak has seen this Tiger team average right around 7.5 runs per game.
That's it, deep in the center field. Stretch, stretch. He jumps, you can put it on the board, yes. He just flicked the bat out there and hit it over the 420 sign.
We told you it's going to be a lively ballpark with the heat and humidity here this afternoon. And that ball on the outer third of the plate, right around thigh high. And Avi, who's hit 3 home runs in the series, making the most of it. Our 4th home run replay. Collins went back. He drifted. Thought he might have had a shot and then realized That ball is back into the hedges. That's probably 440 feet. He's hit one 465 in this series.
Well, I'll tell you, he has hit three bombs in this series. I mean, 3 impressive home runs. And of course, with that home run by Avi, Alex Nelia's family, another generous donation to White Sox charities in loving memory of Ursula.
That's only the 9th home run given up by Jordan Zimmermann, but it really shows you that he's not entirely right quite yet.
I think Jordan was probably more shocked than anybody in the ballpark that went over that center field fence.
Didn't appear to be a particularly hard swing, but
No.
Avi is so strong it doesn't have to be. And if he gets that in his mind, where he doesn't have to air it out every time, it's going to make a big difference.
There's a base hit into left field.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Narvaez is now 5 for 10 since being called up.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten this opportunity because of some hamstring problems from Alex Avila. That's all you have to ask for, is get the opportunity. But when you get it, you better make the most of it. And Omar is. Omar's done a nice job.
Tyler with a fake of the bunt and the take of the ball. Castellanos at the cut of the grass at third, outfield slightly to the right, gap out there in left center. One and one to count.
Zimmerman's slider today is not even close to what it was when he was entirely healthy.
It's all over the place.
Yep. Normally, that's his best pitch. He throws infrequent curveballs and even more infrequent straight changes.
Yeah, when he beat us in Washington that day, he was really impressive. He was just hard fastball, hard slider, hard fastball, and I mean just painting. In fact, he just dominated our guys.
Career against the Sox, you see 3-0 with an ERA of 2.70. So this is a time to take advantage of him, because you're not going to see Jordan Zimmermann like this too often.
Second walk.
They're coming out.
Yeah.
They want a word with him, and you can understand it, because he is not thrown it like he can. Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, along with Brad Ausmus.
Well, this morning I was reading a piece on Jordan, and he said he was really excited about this start today. Really excited. He said he's back, he's healthy. But there's a difference in throwing on the side. There's a difference in throwing, as he said in the article,
And a big difference
against minor league hitters.
Big difference in the minor league rehab starts, and coming up here with a lot of adrenaline, pushing yourself.
Try to gut it out.
Yeah, it looks like he's asking him to stay in, see if it'll loosen up. And in the meantime, if you're Brad Ausmus, you're probably thinking about getting somebody up in that pen.
Well, they're on a run now, and the last thing you want to do is let a guy who's hurting a little bit out there stay out on that mound.
Well, especially when you consider that they do have one more starting pitcher in the minor leagues who was just sent down after his problems. So that's Daniel Norris, who is a starting pitcher in waiting. And with Pelfrey on the DL, they just DL'd him with some back issues after an MRI. They're going to need to get a full complement of starting pitchers if they're going to make that concerted run at the Indians. The Indians leading 4-1 at the end of 4 innings in Cleveland against Minnesota.
Just jabs at that one. Yeah, what a play by Salter Lamar.
That was a great effort by the veteran catcher.
And not a good technique at all by
Try to give yourself up. You certainly don't want to jab at it. You don't want to lower the head of the bat, and you'd like to square around to make sure that that ball stays in fair territory. Saltalamacchia picked it up very quickly and then went back to the bricks to make the play.
That was a terrific play by Jared. And here's Melky. Can't get it. That attempt right there by Carlos Corsi. And sitting on the bench, going down to Charlotte, coming back from Charlotte, back and forth, not playing regularly at all, but still, that the toughest pitch to bunt is the high fastball. And when you chase one and jab at it like that, that is as much a mental mistake as it is a physical mistake.
Well, pitchers are taught. You see guys square around. And you think it's a bunt situation. That was clearly a bunt situation. Throw high fastballs. Fortunately, the x-rays are negative on Tim Anderson. It's a bruised left hand, and he is day to day.
He's lucky. Get hit in that area.
Melky just able to stay alive on a pitch that was, in his estimation, too close to take.
Tigers had a pitcher in my time zone named Joe Sparma.
Remember him?
Moving fastball. Real good movement. Threw pretty hard. Not overpowering, but pretty hard. He hit me about the same spot in the wrist. There's a base hit. Almost got John Tumpain at second base. So another one will score, and it's a 3-1 ball game.
It's RBI number 50 for Melky. Takes it right back up the middle. It's a high fastball. The fastball topping out at 91 for Zimmerman. Fortunately, John Tumpain was able to leap over the top of it and allow it on its path into center field.
So here's Eaton. A little soft single. First time up. Sparma hit me close to exactly the same spot that Tim just got hit. Actually, I hit myself. I turned into it. I didn't make a good turn. I turned into it and hit myself with it. But I'll tell you, that thing was sore for about a month and a half.
No broken bones?
No. And for those of you who missed that pitch,
here it was, and at first it was called a foul ball until they had to take a look at it.
well, he almost did the same thing. He just hit himself on that one. Not too much. Not too much. Adam, 1-2.
Alex Wilson throwing in the bullpen. He's the right-handed of the Wilsons. I've seen Justin Wilson in this series. Justin came over from the Yankees, and that was a good acquisition by the Tigers.
I know every time we've seen Justin, he's been good.
Well, he was 5-0 last year, throwing the ball exceptionally well, and the Yankees let him go.
That pitch fouled away. Count hangs at 1-2. Saladino with third. Cabrera at first.
If you look at the pitching line of a guy that's just not 100%. Jordan Zimmermann.
That's softly into right field, so Tyler's tagging. Here he comes. He'll make him throw him out. And he missed him, so it's 4-1. Good slide.
It's one of the things that J.D. Martinez was talking about was the ability to throw, and the arm was bothering him, but he said last couple days he's been able to throw with no problems. This is a great slide, throwing the body completely away from the tag. The hand got there. Saltalamacchia got him on the foot after his hand touched the plate.
And Brian O'Nora in perfect position. So here's Abreu. He walked last inning.
The broken elbow was the right or throwing elbow, and that was one of the causes of concern for J.D. Martinez. But he said he threw some yesterday to all bases and felt very good. And that was a good throw. Just took a great slide to beat him.
That was a good throw.
Yep. RBI number 38 for Adam Eaton.
The 1 pitch. That ball deep. Way back. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. And it is 5-1. Check that at 6-1. They get us a 5 spot this inning.
Ford home run replay, and this is a fastball right down the middle with not much on it. And Jose doesn't miss this one. A line drive rocket off the back of the bullpen. And Zimmerman is getting clouted. First home run in a long time for Jose, and he's a very happy man.
Here's Justin. 5 runs this inning as there's a base hit. So he'll cruise on into second with his third 2-bagger.
It was the first home run by Jose since June 23rd in Boston. So it's been a while. And Brad Ausmus has decided, and justifiably so, it's time to go to the bullpen because Jordan Zimmermann didn't have it. You could tell early. I'm surprised they were as patient as they were. But it's turned into a 6-1 lead. And here comes Wilson. There goes Zimmermann. And as he walks off, we will step out and be back after these messages. Our White Sox insider all season long at csnchicago.com, presented by The Great Escape. Whether it's pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, or more, escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape. And our Hyundai call to the pen is Alex Wilson. Wilson on for the 41st time. He's 1-0 ERA, a touch over 3. He's been very good, and there's a lot of outs to cover in this game for the Tiger bullpen.
Todd bounced back to Zimmerman in the first inning. And he is the 9th hitter to come to the plate here in the top of the second. It's high into right field. JD is there. But a big cooking number goes up on that board. We'll go to the bottom of the second, leading 6-1.
Coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. And teams throwing the ball the best. The lowest ERA in the major league since the All-Star break, the Tampa Bay Rays, Chicago Cubs, the Washington Nationals, and then these Detroit Tigers. And their record since the All-Star break, 13-5. So they've been awfully good. The pitching staff has been very good, but not today, as Jordan Zimmerman having some problems coming back from that injury. Was not 100%. Sox were able to take advantage of it. And for Jose Quintana, this much seemed like a miracle. 6 runs early.
So here's Justin Upton hitting a .240, 13 homers, 46 knocked in. Pops it up, Abreu. Tyler Collins, center fielder, hitting at .236, 3 homers. He's driven in 9. Takes first pitch strike. Jose might not know what to do with himself out there now.
Pretty amazing to see this kind of run production.
When he's pitching, it is.
Maybin not playing today. Instead, a lefty-lefty matchup for Tyler Collins.
Ball hit hard. Nice play by Carlos. Beauty.
get this kind of a lead for Jose Quintana, all he wants to do is throw strikes. Get 7 guys behind you to make plays. This an excellent play. Robbing Collins of a base hit. Saltalamacchia hitting from the right side. 205 this year as a right-hand hitter. His power comes as a left-hand hitter.
He's been around a long time, and he's just 30 years old.
Came up with the Braves, then went to Texas in that big deal that brought Mark Teixeira from the Rangers to the Braves.
Jared, a big man, 6'4", 235 pounds.
Got some heavy mud on the back of that jersey. Shift in the infield with Sanchez playing just on the third base side of second.
First walk issued. If you're just tuning in, as you can see, my voice is about gone. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. I couldn't sleep last night with this hacking and coughing.
You weren't doing any singing at 4:30, were you?
Oh boy.
Other switch hitter Romine comes to bat.
Softly hit. And that'll reach out to the side. We'll go to the third, leading 6-1.
Budaya has qualified for his 3rd Olympic Games, and 4 years ago, Budaya accomplished something in London no American diver has done since the days of Greg Louganis by winning the gold in the 10-meter platform. He's got high hopes once again for Rio. The gold medalist resides in West Lafayette, Indiana, has relied on what's always been most important to him, his family. Layla Rahimi has a story on Sportsnet at 6:30 Central tonight on CSN Chicago.
Javi Garcia will lead us off here in the top of the third inning. 6-1. Good guys. Javi 1 for 1. That ball high in the right field. He is now 1 for 2. Got one hit leading off last inning over the center field fence. So here's Narvaez. He laced after that home run by Javi. He laced the single into left field.
It continues to be a factor here. It's blowing very briskly toward the left field corner. We'll make sure that anything up in the air that way is going to be taken out of here.
One and one to count. Sox will conclude this series after the game board our charter. Come on home. And starting tomorrow, make your plans to be with us. U.S. Cellular Field, first of 3 against Buck Showalter's Baltimore Orioles.
The Orioles have a 1-game lead in the East, and they're a very solid team.
That they are.
Going to be a good series. Jose Quintana, with his start today, hoping to go 9-8. Then he'll turn it over to Miguel Gonzalez, who will go tomorrow night against Giovanni Gallardo. That is Chris Tillman having just a great year at 14-3 against Carlos Rodon on Saturday. And Dylan Bundy against James Shields on Sunday. Saturday game is 6:10. The Sunday game is 1:10. And there you look at what it looks like in the East with Toronto right there, 2 games back in the loss column, and Boston trying to stay afloat.
And there's ball 4.
The White Sox would like to welcome all University of Illinois alumni, students, and fans to the ballpark tomorrow. You can purchase tickets using the Illini code. You're going to receive a specially priced game ticket, a voucher for a White Sox Illini hat, and the opportunity to watch the White Sox take batting practice before the gates open. To purchase this ticket package, visit whitesox.com/Illini.
Tyler takes strike 1. He walked and scored last inning.
The Orioles are going to do something they haven't done all year long in the ball game they played today as they try to sweep the Rangers, and that is send a left-hander to the mound. They acquired Wade Miley from Seattle. When he does go to the mound and scheduled in the ball game today, it's the first left-handed starter they will have used all season long. Miley, a good pickup. He threw very well against us in Seattle.
He was a terrific pickup.
Yeah. They also got Steve Pearce back. He played very well as a member of the Orioles, went to Tampa Bay. So they wanted one hitter back, and they got him.
One on, one out, 2-2 the count. Miley was last time out really good against the Cubs.
Yeah, I think that's a terrific acquisition. Didn't have to empty the farm system to get him.
Full count. High pop up. Glacius. 2 down. That'll bring up Sanchez. Carlos been in the play 1 time. Had 2 on, nobody out, tried to bunt it, and Salsa Lamakia made a terrific play coming back on the warning track behind home plate to make the diving catch.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and locating the baseball and getting there quickly, and that's the thing that got Salty a whole lot of dirt on the jersey, but a very good play.
Yeah, Miley beat Jake in that start against the Cubs. Jake pitched great in that game.
A nice article today on him in USA Today.
And there's a base hit by Carlos up back through the middle. Attaboy.
Theo Epstein, who is the president, with Jed Hoyer, who's the general manager of the Cubs, talking about how your scouts have to tell you about the potential of certain guys, and you have to realize that if things go right, maybe they can help you. He was thinking about the downside. The worst he thought of Arrieta would be that he could help him out in the bullpen. But with his arm, they thought if he could master location, he could turn out to be pretty good. And he said, and you have to get lucky. And a combination of good scouting and luck for a very little price. I mean, they traded Scott Feldman. They got Pedro Strop, a quality reliever, and Jake Arrieta, one of the league's best in the starting rotation. And it turned out to be a great trade for him.
Melky 1 for 2 with an RBI. Well, we saw Arrieta that last start he made in the Baltimore uniform against us. He just dominated us.
He always had a great arm.
I mean, he just dominated us. So you could see that coming.
But that was a deadline deal where the Orioles needed a veteran pitcher, a good, solid, if not spectacular starter, and they got him. And they got to the playoffs. But they gave up a big part of the future with Arrieta and Strop.
As we talked during that series, Strop's got a chance to be a real key for the Cubs in that pen.
Well, now when you take a look at what they've done, they've got, if not the strongest back end of the bullpen, they're right up there with anybody in baseball.
Yeah. High pop up, short center. Kinsler back, makes the catch. And that'll retire the side. It's still a 6-1 Sox lead.
Vegas as our Sox take on Baltimore this Saturday, August 6th at 6:10. First 20,000 fans will receive a very spiffy White Sox retro batting practice pullover presented by Coca-Cola. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com. And those are handsome pullovers.
Tigers go back to the top of the order. Kinsler, Iglesias, and Cabrera. Kinsler led off the bottom of the first with a home run. 27th. 37th. Career.
His 21st of the year. He got a rolling breaking ball and rolled it right on out. They tied the game at 1. Game that they now trail by 5.
High pop up. Saladino. 1 out. So here's Iglesias. Did a comebacker to Quintana. Nice pick. They look easy. 2 down.
This kind of a lead, you love those 1-pitch outs. Keep down the workload. It's a very hot and humid day. And a good pick to the backhand. Always advantageous to face Cabrera with nobody on.
He just shoved a little soft Kansas City special single into right field his first trip. He probably has more fun at the plate than anybody I've seen in a long, long time. That's one thing that makes him such a great hitter.
Yeah, a combination of just having a great love for the game and also overwhelming ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cabrera will use the whole field. And as you can see, 47 hits to right field, 37 to left field, 32 to straightaway center. So there's not really one way to defend him. And that's the way the Sox defend him, is pretty much straight away, both infield and outfield.
Got him. And that's where you got to get him if you're going to get him, underneath the hands on the inside corner, and that'll retire the side.
honoring Chicago area police and fire departments on Thursday, August 25th for Police and Fire Night. First 10,000 fans received a special Police and Fire Night commemorative T-shirt presented by UL. For more than a century, UL has been committed to fire safety. Learn more at ul.com/fire. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/PDFD or call 866-SOX-GAME. Fly ball well hit to right field, and Martinez with the catch just shy of the track. Wheaton, who was 1 for 1 with the sacrifice fly, flies out. Brings up Jose Abreu, who walked in the first inning, hit a 2-run homer, his first since June 23rd in the second inning. That was a line drive rocket into the bullpen. Well hit to center field. Collins a couple of steps in and then floats back and makes the catch. So quickly 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Justin Morneau, who had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. That gave the Sox their first run. And an opposite field double in the second inning. Alex Wilson, who came on early. If you're just joining us, Jordan Zimmerman, coming back from an injury, didn't have much, lasted an inning and 2/3, gave up 6 runs on 6 hits. And he departed. Alex Wilson came on, throwing the ball pretty well since he's taken over. Slider inside, evens the count at 1-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. So 2-1 count. And Justin Morneau. Outfield straight away, and that ball hit like a rocket. Morneau with a big turn at first base. Martinez getting it back in. Throw is off the mark. And Justin Morneau with his second double of the afternoon. He got one inside part of the plate, looked like a cutter that Wilson couldn't get inside, so Justin swinging it very well. 4th double of the year, 2nd today. He came in hitting .260. He'll improve on that. 2 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. In that Sox uniform, 3 home runs and 8 driven in is Todd Frazier. Steps in, he's 0 for 2. Ground out and a fly out, and he looks at one off the outside corner. Tigers certainly scoreboard watching. They know that the Indians are leading that game in Cleveland against Minnesota 4-2, as Minnesota's taken the first 2 games of the series. Cleveland trying to salvage the finale. And that ball is fouled straight back. Wilson, 6 feet tall, 215 pounds. Was born in Saudi Arabia. Last year for the Tigers, 3-3 with a fine .219 ERA in 59 appearances. So he was outstanding with the Tigers out of their pen.
Outfield straight up, spread out. And that's fair. Now they go.
I'm not sure exactly what Justin was doing, but he runs into the 3rd out.
All right, we'll go to the bottom of the fourth, still 6-1.
Tonight, come and see our Sox take on the Orioles at 7:10. All fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by Athletico. First 1,000 fans to purchase at whitesox.com/ladies receive a free tote bag. Athletico Physical Therapy is better for everybody. So it's Castellanos, Martinez, and Upton here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Castellanos grounded into a force play, was then thrown out at the plate. Castellanos with 18 home runs, 58 driven in. Part of a very powerful middle of the order for the Tigers. Taps that ball foul off to the left.
He's just 24 years old. Yeah, they can hit this club. Put JD, as we mentioned, he changes the whole dynamic of this lineup. Put him in that lineup like he is now.
Well, it gets a whole lot deeper. And if you have Victor, who's not playing today, in that same lineup, they got a lot of thunder.
And that breaking ball's yanked foul. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for our guys. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for their guys. If you're just tuning in, we have stranded 6. They have stranded 2. Quintana on the bump for us. Jordan Zimmerman went 1 2/3, gave up the 6 runs, all earned. And that's out of play. Gap out there in left center. And that ball hit in the center. That's a can of corn for Adam Eaton. One down.
JD Martinez has had 2 at bats. one as a pinch hitter last night, and one in the first inning today. He's seen 2 pitches, hit one way out for what turned out to be a game-winning home run, and he doubled in that first inning. Got a one hopper right back at Quintana, so he's able to make the play easily and quickly. 2 up, 2 down.
And that'll bring him Upton. Justin fouled out to Abreu. Take strike 1.
Outfield straightaway, very deep all the way around for a man who has really started to hit the ball well over the last few weeks.
Yeah, if he comes around like anywhere close to where he can hit, this will be the best offensive lineup in the American League.
Well, the Tigers realized that they were going to have some bullpen problems. They weren't sure about the back end of the starting rotation, but they thought that they could put together enough offense to be a factor, and they've pretty much done that, especially as the whole offense has come to life together. Cabrera's been doing it most all season long. Castellanos is having a real good year. Victor always has a pretty decent year, but getting JD back is a huge benefit to this lineup. You really never know, especially on the right elbow when you fracture it, which he did, how long it's going to take. And in the case of JD, it was a better part of 6 weeks. During the win streak, hit 305 as a club, the run differential 31. Hitting the ball out of the park 14 times. But the big number, batting average with runners in scoring position 450. That's just an unbelievable number.
He gone. The 1-2-3 inning for Quintana, and he leads it 6-1.
of our viewers watching on Intercounty Cable in Brooklyn, Iowa. And we've got a new pitcher coming in the ball game. Wilson's day is done. Kyle Ryan comes on for the 38th time. He's 4-2, his ERA 3.44. He's another one of those guys out of the Tiger pen that has helped pick things up and thrown very well.
He's a big guy, 6'5", 215, out of Auburndale, Florida, where they have a good baseball program there, and also in Winter Haven.
Always willing to take a gamble in that draft on any kind of left-hander with decent stuff, especially a big left-hander. He was drafted in the 12th round in 2010. The Tigers got themselves a good one. In his major league debut against our Sox, 2014, August 30th.
Here's Avi. He's 1 for 2. And that one hit was a big one. A long one, leading off the second inning. In case you missed it. Poof.
Collins went all the way back, thought he had a shot at it. That ball was way out of here.
Yeah, he didn't pick it up very well because he was just drifting and drifting.
Drifted about 440, that one did.
And that's a foul ball super near right side. That wind now even blowing a little more brisk.
Yeah, just get it up.
Yeah.
Get it just to the left of center. You're in pretty good shape.
That was what I've mentioned this before. Ted Williams. One of the 3 things he wanted to know every day when he would call the ballpark. Helen was the telephone operator. She knew his routine, so she would try to get it before he called. He wanted to know which way the wind was blowing. There at Fenway, he wanted to know who was pitching for them, if she could find out. And he wanted to know who was behind the plate, the home plate umpire. And he told me he would sit there all day long with factoring in those 3 things. Because back in those days, most American League umpires were high ball umpires with that balloon.
You also knew that you were going to probably get that same umpire behind the plate 6, maybe 7 times during the course of the year.
Oh,
so
easy.
You knew exactly what he called.
Maybe, yeah, at least that many balls hit hard but foul. Yeah, these guys today don't have any opportunity to. The best thing they can do would be to write down in their own book and keep it in their locker on every umpire that they have behind the plate.
I think that should certainly be standard practice for all these guys, so they don't have to learn the strike zone of these guys.
Ball hit hard. Glacius makes it look easy. And that's out number 1. Well, you know, the thing about the umpires, they don't do it today, but we used to go over the umpire in the hitting meeting, who was behind the plate. How low was his strike zone? Because we knew it was going to be up with a balloon.
Yeah.
How low would he call? You had a couple of guys that would call it. And then you had a couple of guys, as long as it was high enough or low enough, they were going to call it a strike.
The inside chest protectors for all the umpires in both leagues really changed things around. You developed a couple of generations of low ball hitters, because now umpires have to line up in the slot. Before they were over the top of the catcher, so you have a higher sight line. These guys now, right between the hitter and the catcher, they line up and they get a real good look at the low pitch.
But you still have some guys who will call a high strike and others that won't. So you got to know those guys. But it certainly changed. The National League was a low ball umpire in league, and the American League was a high ball umpire. That's fouled away. Omar has single, scored, and walked.
He's just done a really nice job. I know he hasn't had that many opportunities, but when he does get an opportunity to play, he's made the most of it.
Yeah, I would say 5 for 10 is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Fits into that mold of the left-handed hitting catcher.
You can stay healthy and hit left-handed. You can stay around for a while.
High. Upton, foul ground. Makes the catch. 2 down.
Check in during your visit to U.S. Cellular Field using MLB.com Ballpark. That's the official U.S. Cellular Field app for your iPhone and Android smartphone. Perfectly complements your trip to the ballpark. You can get maps, concession guides, check-in prices, and more. Download MLB.com Ballpark today or visit WhiteSox.com/ballpark app.
Here's Saladino. He has walked and scored and popped up to short. Bottom of the 7th in Cleveland, still 4-2 Tribe over Minnesota. Two and 0 the count. Outfield straight up, spread out. That pitch just off the plate, called a strike. And there is a base hit right back to the middle. Attaboy, Tyler. So he was glad that pitch just off the plate was called a strike.
And with his base hit, only Todd Frazier in the entire starting lineup has not had a base hit in the game today. Saladino started this game as a second baseman. For those of you coming to the game late, Tim Anderson was hit with a fastball in the first inning. Hung around to score the run, then was taken out of the game, and Carlos Sanchez inserted at second. Saladino slid over to short.
Santana, a 3-run homer in that Cleveland game. Off Santiago. But right here, 1-0 to Carlos. If you're just tuning in, we scored 1 in the first. They scored 1 in the first. We scored 5 in the second. 2 home runs for us. Solo shot by Garcia. 2-run blast. Line drive by Abreu. Boy, he can make that play just about as good as anybody. Going to his right underneath. Meanwhile, it's still a 5-run White Sox lead. Thank you very much, buddy. Pretty good deal. 3 years, $85 million.
Not
free agency after 3.
Not bad. Free agency after 2. He plays the first 2, and then he can go if he wants.
That's a pretty good deal.
If not, it's a nice fallback position to have.
Out in front of that one is Collins. Collins 0 for 1. Sanchez made a real good play to get him. Two strikes. 0-2 the count. Saladino bobbles, and still gets it.
Good concentration as he stayed with that one. Moving to his left up the middle. And was able to get the out at first base on a guy who can run pretty well. Tyler Collins gets down there in a hurry, but not fast enough to beat the arm of Saladino.
Here's Salter Lamacchia to a walk back in the second inning. Only walk issued by Quintana. Takes first pitch strike. And there is the way you should do it. You're down about 5. You need some base runners. They put a shift on. He just shoves it to the right.
You do that enough, especially right-handed where he doesn't have the power. He's got 10 home runs. 9 of them from the left side. So right-handed, he doesn't have the kind of power. So might as well just take that little inside-out swing, and they shift it on you. If you keep doing that right-handed, they're not going to shift anymore, and then you'll be able to pull the ball through a hole.
Andrew Romine. That's out of play right side. Wind shifting now a bit. They're going to get the lead man. They can't get Romine. 2 down.
Just about as quickly as it could have been turned, but Romine got out of the box, was able to beat the double play. Very smooth between Sanchez and Saladino, but they couldn't get Romine. Ball doesn't hit all that hard, and because of that, the double play is not accomplished.
Well, with a right-handed hitter, he's a switch hitter, but with hitting right-handed against Quintana, when you hit the ball like that to the right side versus hitting a ball to the shortstop, you're 2 steps quicker down the line. Top of the order, Ian Kinsler 1 for 2, a home run, his 21st, leading off the bottom of the first. Outfield straight up, spread out.
Multi-hit games in the major leagues. Altuve and Betts tied at 45. Daniel Murphy, the only National Leaguer in that list, at 44, with Kinsler and Desmond tied at 40.
Kinsler, very underrated second baseman, except for his teammates, the guys who play against him.
He's a pretty well-respected guy around baseball.
Very, yeah.
He's another one of those guys that hustles every moment he's on the field. Certainly liked him in Texas. You can understand the deal for the Rangers. However, it didn't work out well for them.
He got it. He gone. And we're into the 6th, leading by 5.
Complete game, 6 hits, just 2 earned runs, but it wasn't enough. He lost that ball game, but he struck out 10, the only time he struck out 10 this year. Last year he had 13 games of 10 plus strikeouts, 32 games with 10 or more strikeouts for Chris Sale. That is our Quicken Loan Rocket Arms. And as you can see, he did it in 4, in 3, in 2, but nothing like last year where he was brilliant in 31 starts.
1 strike pitch to Melky. Iglesias. Melky now 1 for 4 with an RBI. Boy, these shortstops we got now, they are fun to watch. Wow.
Well, you think of Carlos Correa with Houston, Xander Bogaerts with Boston,
Lindor.
Iglesias here. Francisco Lindor is one of the youngest, if not the youngest of all of them, and a switch hitter with astonishing talent. And he's just going to get better, as is Correa. Same thing.
They're just fun to watch. And then you've got Yasiel Puig. It's just got as much talent as anybody.
Interesting story, because the Dodgers finally got to the point where they sent him down to the minor leagues.
Yeah.
And if he is going to do it, he's going to have to work his way back.
That ball hit hard, but they got a man there. And you know, I told you that story about he's not a friend, he's an acquaintance that works with the Dodgers. And he is very friendly with Puig, and he told me he said he's really a nice young man. He's brilliant, smart. Parents are both, what, doctors?
Both doctors, yeah. But you know what? It's got to be a great deal of immaturity as far as baseball goes, because, you know, he was successful everywhere he went and dominated when he first came in the league. We saw him that first spring training. Couldn't believe how fast he was.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe how hard he hit the ball.
But an arm he had.
Yeah, and he had, that spring training, he had a hit in 10 straight at bats. We hadn't seen much of anything like him, because he looked like a linebacker and he could run like a wideout. And yet each and every year things have gotten worse and worse and worse for him, until he was hitting in the 230s this year, and they finally sent him down.
It's just it's a sad situation, because when you get people who know him and will tell you he's just a really nice young man, and yet he still has these, as you say, and that's probably hit it right on the money, a lot of immaturity issues.
Yep.
Brayu into deep right center field. They got a man there. And that'll retire us out. A 1-2-3 inning from Mr. Ryan, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th, leading 6-1.
Return to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field for a battle with Manny Machado, Mark Trumbo, and the AL East leading Baltimore Orioles. It all starts at 7 on CSN Chicago.
Jose Iglesias will lead it off for Detroit here in their half of the 6th inning. Cabrera on deck and Castellanos in the hole. Jose Quintana threw the home run to Ian Kinsler, if you're just joining us, leading off the bottom of the 1st. And since then, after that 1st inning, they hadn't even come close. And this is a real good Detroit offense. Chris Sale didn't have any trouble with them last night, but we get beat 2-1 in that one, as that's out number 1.
This Detroit team is a pretty good team, and I think they get that starting rotation solid. When Zimmerman comes back, it wasn't the Zimmerman we've seen, that guy that went out there today, but when he gets back fully healthy with a rejuvenated Justin Verlander. I mean, Verlander's throwing the ball as well as you can throw it. We saw Fulmer last night, and he was very good. So the rotation looks like it's going to be pretty good, and they seem to have worked out their bullpen. At least it's a whole lot better than it has been in recent years. Then you look at this offense, and there's no reason why they can't make a very strong run at Cleveland.
Well, they're going to make a run at Cleveland.
But they're 1-11 against the Indians this year, and that's been the biggest problem.
Well, that can change, you know that.
Yeah.
But they're going to make a run at them because of the fact that Indians now have got a couple problems with their pitching.
Well, they've got Danny Salazar went on the DL. They're wondering about Carlos Carrasco and just exactly what he's experiencing right now. They've got made a good addition to that bullpen.
Foul ball.
That one is sliced foul, fortunately. Getting Andrew Miller certainly helps that pen. I think the surprising thing for me is that they had a chance to really help their offense. They had the trade for Jonathan Lucroy and didn't work out. He nixed it with his no trade. And then they went out, they didn't get a top of the line hitter. There was a few guys they might have made an attempt at, they didn't. They settled for Brandon Guyer, who's a nice role player and can hit left-handers, but you know, that's a team that might be a little short offensively.
Well, the biggest thing with Andrew Miller is you got to be able to get to him.
Yep.
And that might be a nice pitch right there. And that's out number 2, but that closer is doing you no good if you can't get to him.
No, they got Cody Allen and Andrew Miller.
Cody Allen
back
don't
in.
work. We have his behind worked off.
Yeah, but that's why they got to back him off a little bit. They can use Andrew Miller, but again, it all comes down to how effective that starting rotation is going to be as they move into the mid-20s in their starts.
Well, we were talking about it. You and I were talking about it the other day. The rotation today is only good, really, for one thing: to protect the bullpen. That's what rotations, starting rotations are. Castellanos 0 for 2. Yeah, if they can't protect your bullpen, then you got a big problem. One thing about Terry, he's terrific. You don't win 11 years in a row, 500 or better.
Yeah.
Unless you know what you're doing, but he will work that bullpen with the best of them. That's out of play.
Tigers are in a position where they're playing a preponderance of home games in a stretch that they're right in the middle of. They've got to take advantage of this.
31-19 at home.
They've been terrific. Not quite as good as Baltimore. Baltimore has been unbelievable at Camden Yards.
Just shoves that little fly ball out there in the right field. So another nice inning right there for Jose Quintana.
and his sacrifice fly in the first inning plated the first Sox run. And with that first White Sox run, eClick Lending has donated $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families. Shortly after Tim Anderson scored the first run of the ball game, he departed this game. Fortunately, the x-rays on his hand where he was hit proved negative, and he is listed as day to day.
And we're going to show you a terrific at bat by Morneau back in the first inning. In a sacrifice fly scenario. Now here is the first swing. Okay. Now you got 2 strikes on him, and watch this one.
Well, I mean, two different worlds, because
Right.
one is air it out, see what you can get.
That's right.
And the other is I got to make some contact and bring home that man from third base.
And
so
he did.
He reached out, flicked it into left field. He's so strong that he was able to drive home the run, and including today, since July 20th, covering 12 games, 333, 3 and 8, 3 home runs, 8 driven in. Looks like a pretty good addition to the ball club.
You get some guys, that ball had just had the outside edge or the outside corner, but you get some guys, they just will not cut down on their swings when they get 2 strikes and a man on third and less than 2 outs.
Well, I think you'll find it doesn't matter what era of baseball it is, the big run producers, the guys who are paid to drive home runs and do it consistently year after year, they know how to make the adjustment. You're just not going to get a pitch to drive every pitch.
As here is Todd. Takes ball 1. Todd 0 for 3 today. That's down to his counterpart, Castellanos. 2 down. Well, there are an awful lot of RBIs when they play the infield back and a man on third and less than 2 out. There are a lot of RBIs throughout the course of the season with just a little bitty ground ball.
Yeah.
Here's Avi, 1 for 3, a blast. He has hit 3 home runs in this series, and all 3 have been majestic. Little backdoor breaking ball there. And the count 0-2. Just got a piece of it. Cleveland opening it up, now leading Minnesota 8-2. Bottom of the 8th at Progressive Field.
We were talking about home teams and the fact that this Tiger team has been very good. 31-19 at home. Best team in baseball is the Baltimore Orioles. Camden Yard, 39-16. Cubs second at 37-17.
Pops him up right side. And that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch, we lead it 6-1. It'll be J.D. Martinez, Justin Upton, Tyler Collins to face our Jose Quintana. J.D. 1 for 2 and double.
Jose gave up 3 hits in the first inning and has settled down, giving up just 1 single. That to Saltalamacchia since. Pitches and had a whole lot of difficulty in any of them, including that first inning where he gave up 3 hits, a home run, a single, 12, and a double.
12 out of the last 13 he's faced.
Very good. It's pretty much each and every time out said the same thing. He just calmly eases his way through some very good lineups, giving up the 4 hits and 6+, 3 strikeouts, and just 1 lone walk.
You see J.D. Martinez with that move right there, that shove to the right. When he changed the swing, you got to figure what he did was he picked up a foot, maybe a foot and a half longer of seeing the baseball. You see how longer he saw that one. That chin stayed right on it. He did not go. When you see a guy who's been struggling, and all of a sudden he starts to hit the ball and he comes out of it, usually it's because he picks up a foot, maybe 6 inches to a foot, maybe a foot and a half in some cases, of seeing the ball longer. And there are various ways of doing that. Just do the math. Guys who see the ball 56 or 57 feet are going to hit it more solid than guys who see it 54 or 55 feet.
Well, to illustrate that, when he came over, he started driving the ball to right field and right center, just as he did there.
Yeah, he's just shoving it out there. He's seeing it all the way.
He got out ahead of a pitch before, fouled it off, and then took that high fastball. That was out over the plate, drove it into right field.
So here's Upton. He's fouled out to Abreu and struck out. And that's into right field, and that's going to fall. Kansas City special. Trouble brewing here in the bottom of the 7th. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
First hit of the day for Upton. This one had a good piece of the plate. A couple of few times today, fastballs down the middle have put Q in some trouble, and Don Cooper goes to the phone. He wants to call the pen and start him to working. Despite the fact that Quintana's only thrown 76 pitches.
Yeah, and they really hadn't been stressful either. He did not go. That's one thing about this Tiger offense, though. You cannot relax. You cannot let up.
No, they've got Victor Martinez sitting on the bench, so he's always somebody that will come into play late.
That's popped up. And it's going to be on top of the dugout.
Nate Jones loosening up. Sox pen, and Bruce Rondon warming up in the Tiger pen. Back low in Rondon.
And there's a base hit. So 3 straight hits, and it's a 6-2 ball game.
Tenth run batted in for Collins. With 2 strikes, he took a nice defensive swing. Took this ball out of the strike zone, dumped it into center field. And that brings Don Cooper out from the dugout to give that pen a chance to loosen up. Ryan O'Nora is going to take that long walk to the mound to break this up.
So here's Salta LaMantia, a walk and a single. High pop up. Infield fly rule is called. And that is out number 1. That'll bring up Andrew Romine, switch hitter. He is 0 for 2. He is looped out to second, and he is hit into a 4-6 fielder's choice.
The fastball was down, and Romine was able to foul it off. I think he fouled it off of Omar.
Well, I know you've been out there and you've done it. You had a 6-1 lead. You're cruising. All of a sudden, you give up 3 straight hits, and you start to maybe get a little chaos going up there.
I think pretty much. I mean, in the case of Jose, he doesn't usually have that bother him. He just goes and starts making good pitches, and hopefully they hit him at somebody.
Well, he's been amazing since he's been with us. That's one of the first things we noticed about him. He is not afraid to pitch out of jams. But a lot of guys, of course, are not like that, of that ilk.
No, he's unflappable.
That's in the center field. We got a man there. And that's out number 2.
American League leaders in quality starts. Aaron Sanchez from Toronto is number 1. Justin Verlander, we talked about the resurgent Verlander, is number 2. And it's Quintana and Sale tied with 15 apiece, along with Estrada Hamels and Rick Porcello, who was a former Tiger. So year after year, Jose Quintana is right there, along with Chris Sale. And this year, no exception. Looking for his 16th today.
And he's got a tough customer at the plate here. Ian Kinsler, 1 for 3, a home run. Leading off the bottom of the first inning, if you're just tuning in. And Kinsler's got the catbird seat, 2-0. That's high in the center field. Adam Eaton, he's there. And once again, Quintana pitches out of a jam. They score one, and we lead it now 6-2.
Your team pride with a White Sox checking, an official White Sox MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC. And Ryan is down and Mark Lowe is in. He's on for the 40th time. He's really struggled. ERA 8.57. He's allowed 11 home runs.
Narvaez will lead it off. Omar is 1 for 2. A single and a run scored back in the second. Al Ryan, a very good job. Solid.
Well, Ryan did the job that he was needed to do, and that was just hold him right there and allow the offense to come back. But Jose Quintana has been a little too tough for that. That was a huge jam. He gave up just the 1 run, and that was it, keeping a 4-run lead. Mark Lowe has been with Seattle. He was with Texas. He was with the Angels in Los Angeles, Cleveland, back to Seattle and Toronto last year.
One time he was one of the hardest throwers in the league.
Yep. He had a very big arm. Then things started to go away for him.
Got him. 1 out.
Last year for Lowe, his second go round with Seattle, he had 34 appearances and an ERA of 1 even, with 47 strikeouts and 36 innings. So it looked like he had figured things out. He went to Toronto, threw the ball fairly well, and Detroit figured they were getting a rejuvenated Mark Lowe when he came over here, but things have not worked out for him, and he spent a lot of time in his career on the disabled list.
Saladino 1 for 2 with a run scored. 0-2 the count. 33,023 in attendance today.
They've done a nice job here of drawing fans.
32,526 last night. 30,316 in the opener. Two and two. Yeah, that's a great franchise. You put something decent out there on the field, and they're going to support it.
And it's a beautiful ballpark.
Tigers were always my favorite team to play against. It was every series was very, very competitive. It seems like we got in a fight with them almost every series.
If you could pull the ball in that old ballpark, pull the ball or just slap it the other way, you could hit it out rather easily. Center field was a problem.
440.
that was a long way.
Boy, they had some competitors. And number 6 out there on the wall, Hall of Famer Al Kaline, Willie Horton. Always really ultra competitive. And it didn't take much to start something. Yes, there's ball 4. That'll bring up Carlos Sanchez. Carlos been on the plate 3 times. He has 1 hit. First and third him, Carlos. Let's get that run back.
That ball hit the facing of the upper deck, bounded down. All the fans chasing after it, a few guys with gloves, and then it rolled to a guy who just sat there and did nothing except pick it up. That was right off of Brian Onora. Saltalamacchia giving him an opportunity to go back and try to shake it off.
Six runs, 9 hits, no errors for our guys. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for their guys. With 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Big gap out there in right center if he can find it. Good lead by Tyler. So that's 2 down. That's only the 3rd strikeout for our guys today. That's a nice.
It's unusual, but yes.
Here's Melky. Melky's 1 for 4 with an RBI. Now he's 1 for 5 with an RBI. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th, leading by 4. Radar, Chuck. Thank you, buddy. Right here's the bottom of the 8th. Iglesias, Jose Iglesias will lead it off against Quintana. He takes strike 1. He's 0 for 3 today. Second at bat in the 3rd inning, hit a rocket down to Todd Frazier, who made just a really good play and made it look easy. Out in front, pops it up, Saladino, and that's out number 1.
Fans, you can experience Levy Restaurant's fine dining and service while enjoying a breathtaking view of U.S. Cellular Field from the First Merit Bank Stadium Club. Memberships available to season ticket holders and open before, during, and after every home game. First Merit Bank Stadium Club is also perfect for non-game day events, including weddings and corporate parties. For more information regarding the First Merit Bank Stadium Club, please call 312-674-1000.
There's Cabrera. Ate him up inside. Miggy, that little soft single in the 1st inning. He's 1 for 3.
Said it went off his foot. Looked like it might have been in front of his foot. I think he gets an Academy Award nomination for that.
Oh, I would think he's right up there at the top.
With that one?
And acting at the
Yeah,
plate.
he can do that.
Oh, yeah. He also is the best short arm hitter in baseball. Or let me rephrase that. Short arm hitter in the American League. He can extend, he can hit short. He can do it all. We had a guy here for a long time that could hit short arms and absolutely was great at it. And he's in the Hall of Fame. Number 35.
In Detroit?
No, for us.
Oh. You thought Frank hit with the shortest arms around?
He could. Big hurt. Boy, I tell you what. That ball hit deep in the left field and it's gone. He just flipped it out of here. Let's say 6-3 ball game.
At 25 and 70. So things on the power department getting back to where they usually are for Miguel Cabrera. So in fact that ball did not hit his foot. That's way out to shortstop. He earns himself a home run on a rolling curveball. The Ford home run replay. Oh, he's strong.
Well, you saw where that right arm was as Robin comes slowly walking out. He just kept it in, flipped it out.
Yep. 7 1/3. That's what it'll be.
A good performance today from our southpaw. We had a great performance last night from Chris. Now a good one from Quintana. He departs and we'll be back.
In an upcoming White Sox game, celebrate a birthday, anniversary, and more with a scoreboard message. Proceeds benefit White Sox charity. So to book your message, visit whitesox.com/scoreboard. Our Hyundai call to the pen is Nate Jones. Nate comes on for the 50th time. He's 4-2. His ERA 2.44. He inherits the bases clean. He also inherits a 3-run lead. And he's got the middle of the order coming up.
Castellanos, J.D. Martinez, and Justin Upton. That's into right field. Come on. Yes. Stays with it. Makes a catch. That is out number 2.
He's been playing back, and this time he had to come in and get one off the end of the bat, and he was able to do just that.
That is foul back to the right side.
That was a good slider. First pitch, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, followed up by the 89-mile-an-hour slider in essentially the same spot. How do you feel? And Jeff Kellogg says, nope, he didn't go. Tigers know that the Indians have won their game. Cleveland, 9-2 winners over Minnesota.
Big on. But the home run by Miguel Cabrera will go to the ninth, leading 6-3.
For a great MLS matchup as the Chicago Fire head west to face Real Salt Lake. Coverage begins at 8:30 on CSN.
6-3 good guys here in the top of the 9th inning. Adam Eaton will lead it off. Adam in the 3rd hole today. He's 1 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. That takes ball 1.
David Robertson starts to loosen in the pen.
Yeah, and that Cleveland, Minnesota game, Hector started. Santiago. Couple of walks, 4 runs, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts. Boy, he pitched well against us.
He did that.
Back on the 15th. July. 7 innings, no runs, 5 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts. We didn't even come close to scoring off of him.
Minnesota picked up a big salary in Ricky Nolasco, and they got a good young prospect in Alex Meyer in that trade.
And for the Tribe, let's see. Kipnis is 18th. Santana is 24th. Francisco Lindor is 13th. Jose Ramirez is 6th. That ball hit into right field. JD comes in, cannot make the play. He got a bad read on it. So the leadoff man aboard. Let's score some more, boys. Let's put some more points on the board.
Sinking line drive, and it goes as a base hit. Last thing he wants to do is get that right elbow re-involved in that as he tries to cushion himself. Put the right hand into the turf and rolled over, but he comes away fine.
Here's Abreu, 1 for 3, a 2-run homer, just a line shot. Off the back wall out there in the bullpen. Kipnis hitting at 285 now. Lindor at 306. Mike Napoli, the dangerous Mike Napoli, 253. That little Jose Ramirez against us, he just wears us out, and he's hitting 296 on the
No, he's having a terrific year.
Hey, he kept those guys for the first month. He kept those guys in the game.
Mike Napoli homered in 5 straight games. Seems to be interrupted today.
He's dangerous. I'd like to watch him hit. He is dangerous. Made a good pass at that. That ball's headed towards right center if he squared it up. Geyer 2 for 4.
That's what they're going to use Brandon Geyer for, is facing the left-handers. Gives him one more reliable bat.
Jose Ramirez hit 294 against us with a couple of home runs this year in 9 games.
We see the Tribe a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Coming home.
Let's see who plays center field for him today. Rajay, another Sox killer. Rajay Davis plays against us like he's a perennial all-star.
That was a good pickup for them. Rajay Davis has been a good player.
goes. That ball high in the center field. They got a man there.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live sports streaming service, delivers everything you come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live on HD on over 400 supported devices. That includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
So here's Morneau. 2 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Fouls it back, and that's just underneath us. Hey, Steve, I want to thank you for doing all the reads today, buddy, with my throat the way it is.
The way you sounded coming out here on the bus, I figured the less you had to do, the better off it would wind up.
Well,
now you got some days to recover before you head to Kansas City.
I told our Chuck in the break a while ago, I told him, man, I've done over 6,000 games, and this is by far the worst I've ever felt in the booth. Oh. One and one to count. Touch him up right here, Justin. Justin, a couple doubles, one in the second, one in the fourth. Just tuning in, we scored one in the first, they scored one in the first. We scored 5 in the second. They scored 1 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th. There he goes. And they get him. He got a pretty good jump right there. That was a good job by Saltalamacchia.
He had to make a perfect throw because Adam did indeed get a good jump. See it there, he got a running start. Saltalamacchia throws it right on the bag. And he got him. Anything less than a perfect throw, he's got no chance to get him.
Ball hit hard. Meanwhile, Kinsler. All right, we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Upton, Collins, and Saltalamacchia scheduled hitters.
In the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, and here's our Miller moment. It comes off the bat of Jose Abreu in the 2nd inning. Line drive rocket home run. First home run since June 23rd. Jose hits his 12th of the year, and that's part of the reason why there's a 3-run lead as David Robertson comes on, tries to nail it down for his 26th save. And this is his 30th opportunity to do that. He's on for the 43rd time. Bottom part of the order for David Robertson, Upton, Collins, Saltalamacchia. And we'll see if Victor Martinez makes an appearance here in the 9th inning.
So here's Upton. Couple of notable anniversaries today. Tom Seaver's 300th victory at Yankee Stadium. Reed Nichols caught the last out. There's that base hit. Upton now 2 for 4. Starting to swing the bat. And here comes Tyler Collins. And then the confrontation between Robin Ventura and Nolan Ryan.
The first, watch out.
Robin just ducked right into a headlock. I'll tell you, Ryan Dorff had the best line on that I have ever heard. He said, Robin Ventura is the only hitter to ever get 6 hits off Nolan Ryan in one game.
Yeah, but he got them all off the forehead.
Yeah. All he did was just give him 6 noogies. I asked Robin after the game, I said, Rob, what the hell are you doing? I said, you ran right into a headlock. He said, well, Hawk, I got halfway there. And I said, oh, my goodness, that's Nolan Ryan out there. Collins with an 0-2 count. Rack him up. Two down.
Time now for our PNC Bank upcoming schedule, and it's the weekend series back at U.S. Cellular Field with the Orioles, and then it's on to Kansas City after the Monday off. So the Orioles and the Royals coming up. They're most likely getting a little work in. Make sure they're sharp against Baltimore.
Saltalamacchia, walk a single and a pop up to short. And when this ball comes down, this ball game will be over. Yes, so we salvaged the finale of this 3-game set. We got a great performance last night from Chris Sale, lost it 2-1. Got a great performance this afternoon from Quintana. He finally picks up a victory, Steve.
Yeah, it's really nice to see him get that record up over 500 as Jose Quintana with yet another quality start, his 16th, going 7 1/3. So a good day, head home against a